name is Crispus Wathimba, or Engineer Wathimba. I am a resident of Nakuru County and an aspirant for the Senate seat of this county in the forthcoming general election of August 8, 2022. I was born in 1980 here in Nakuru. I went to St. Christopher's Nursery School right here in Nakuru town, then proceeded to Moi Primary School right here in Nakuru town, and then went to Menengai High School also in Nakuru town, which is now Nakuru City. Later, after successfully completing my high school, I was admitted to the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, where I pursued a degree in civil engineering. And later on in life, I also pursued a postgraduate study in executive masters in business administration at the East and Southern Africa Management Institute in Kampala. Currently, I'm pursuing a master's in construction and engineering management at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. That is who I am in terms of my education background, professional and career development. From the year 2005 to date, I've worked in many areas, including project management, construction, and insurance. I was employed as an assistant engineer, a project manager, a country manager, a project director, in charge of various infrastructure projects across the region. My first assignment was in South Sudan, then I proceeded to DRC Congo, then returned to Kenya for a short while, then later went to work in Uganda, where I spent the better part of my young adulthood, which was between the year 2007 to 2014. Then from the year 2014, I returned back home, where I set up my own engineering company, which has been my mainstay to this day. Later on, in the year 2017, I engaged in politics, where I was an aspirant for the Jubilee ticket, Bahati parliamentary seat, where I lost. This year, I am not going to run with any political party. I am running as an independent. And the reason why I have avoided using any political party is because parties have become vehicles owned by political leaders and not vehicles owned by the people of Kenya. Today, we have seen many of those who wanted to participate in nominations being sidelined by big political bigwigs because of money, and in other cases, that process being manipulated to favor some people. And therefore, I chose earlier on not to pursue my ambitions of becoming the Nakuru Senator using any political party, because I feared that would curtail my dream of being a leader in Nakuru. Therefore, I am calling upon the people of Nakuru to listen to me, to engage with me, and we converse. And I'm very sure that by the end of this engagement, I will come out as the best choice for Nakuru Senator 2022 and beyond. Many have asked, why did I choose to go for Senator, having lost in the parliamentary seat back in 2017? Between 2017 and now, I happen to have served for Third Way Alliance as the Nakuru County Coordinator. This position gave me an opportunity to interact with people beyond my constituency or beyond my sub-county, and to interact extensively with people across Nakuru County. This was during the process of seeking the support from Kenyans for the Punguza Mizigo bill. During this process, I had an opportunity to interact with ordinary Kenyans, to understand deeply the issues affecting people in Nakuru. Nakuru is a cosmopolitan county. It consists of 11 sub-counties, and it consists of many communities that coexist here, and that coexistence has been peaceful for the last 10 to 15 years, something we want to cherish and protect at whatever cost. And therefore, since I believe and I understand deeply the importance of this county having the right leadership, I presented myself to be elected as the next senator for Nakuru, so that I can provide that leadership that I believe we require. We have been bedeviled by having leaders who are elected, but upon election they abandon the cause for which they were elected. Today we have leaders who cannot sit down together with other leaders and discuss or plan or strategize or find ways of working together for the benefit of the common man. That is a narrative I want to change. I want to make leadership a collective bargain for all elected leaders to deliver for the voter of Nakuru. And most importantly, what do we want to deliver? What do I want to deliver? I want to deliver good governance. I want to deliver transformative leadership. I want to speak about economic prosperity. I want to speak about peace and security. When you talk about economic prosperity, and I'm a senator, how do I intend to achieve that? The role of a senator is to engage with the national government through the Senate and make sure that the resources that are intended to come to the devolved units do so, and those resources that are supposed to come to Nakuru are in the right measure and for the benefit of Nakuru people. And also, as the senator, ensure that when those resources are provided to the Nakuru County government, they are used in the right way. We need to discuss the issue of corruption and wastage in public sector. That is something that is causing a lot of problems. We want every shilling that is allocated to Wanjiko is able to reach down to the lowest devolved unit, which is the ward. As a senator, my role will be to protect those resources so that any wastage is arrested, any abuse is arrested. And not just only to arrest when it happens, but also come up with laws that can prevent leaders who may think or may attempt to abuse public resources. Secondly, we have a lot of resources in this county. We produce a lot of geothermal power. Our main activity is agricultural. We have a lot of infrastructure in this county: roads, rail, airports. Recently, Nakuru town was elevated to a city status, and there are many issues that city status comes with. My responsibility is to find what resources within our county can we maximize in terms of revenue generation that can come directly to us as a county and be able to be channeled to development issues such as providing safe and clean water, good quality healthcare, quality education facilities such as vocational and training centers, technical centers, where our young people can be provided with the skills and knowledge that will allow them to take advantage of not just jobs, but decent, sustainable jobs that can guarantee their future and the future of their children. Lastly, we have a lot that is coming out of this county. 5% of the GDP to this country comes from Nakuru. But how much of that comes back to us? I want to fight for a better share, a fair share from the national government towards the Nakuru County in consideration to its contribution to the national kit. Lastly, we have also other things that we produce in this country: food, horticulture, construction materials such as the quarry at Kagoto, geothermal power. Those are things that are sold into the market and generate a lot of revenues. We also need to negotiate for a better share of the revenues generated within our county to come back and be invested in programs that can uplift the well-being of our youth, the well-being of our mothers, the well-being of our persons with disability, our education infrastructure, our healthcare infrastructure, water, roads, and many other things that this county is having challenges to address because of scarcity of resources. I therefore request you to give me a chance to be your next senator, and I will not abandon this cause that many others who have been elected before have failed to pursue once elected. A recent report suggested that Nakuru is among the hotspot counties in the upcoming general election. And one of the main concerns with Nakuru was the issue of security. We have already achieved peace. Communities now coexist peacefully, but criminal gangs or organized crimes are coming up, and there is fear that politicians are going to use them to wage war against their competitors. For me, right now, even before I'm elected, I am calling upon every leader, every aspirant to speak peace and not to in any way attempt to criminalize the election process. I'm also calling upon the institutions of police, the DCI, the law enforcement to take stand action against any leader or aspirant who is planning or intends to use organized crime to influence the outcome of this election. But beyond this election, if elected as Senator of Nakuru, mine will be to pursue peace, and I will pursue peace by engaging all leaders, whether MCA, whether MP, women rep, and governor, with one main agenda: that we maintain our peace as a county and realize and preach that our diversity as a county is our strength. Nations that have grown have been found to be diverse nations where people from different backgrounds come together, bringing their different strengths and being able to emerge as prosperous economy. Therefore, we must see the opportunity in our diversity. Secondly, on the issue of security. Security in Nakuru or insecurity in Nakuru is attributed to what we are calling organized criminal gangs or organized crime. This is an aspect that should be addressed by one, providing an environment where businesses can thrive, farmers can be able to prosper, and leaders who lack integrity do not find an opportunity to be elected or an opportunity to lead. Therefore, if number one, we are able to address the issue of job creation by attracting as many investors in this county, we will be able, in one way or another, address the issue of security. Secondly, as a food basket to the nation, farming or agriculture is very important to us. I am therefore going to pursue an agenda where we will find ways and means that more resources will be devolved in supporting our farmers with what we call extension services, technical advice, farm inputs, so that crop productivity or farm products can be enhanced. If farming becomes attractive, many of our young people will find a lot they can do in the farms, and they will not be attracted to engage in any criminal gangs. Lastly, I will also pursue an agenda where leaders who lack integrity do not have space to aspire to any position. This is by making sure that the laws we put in place do not give any leader who lacks integrity to join any office, whether elected or appointed. As I told you, I was part and parcel of the Punguza Mizigo bill, and one of the things that bill was pushing for is a quick prosecution of any person who is found to lack integrity, so that that person can be determined within a very short time whether he or she is somebody qualified to be a leader if they are meeting the Chapter 6 requirements for integrity and leadership. Therefore, with those three areas, I believe we will be able to, one way or another, deal with the problem or the cause for insecurity in this county, rather than just deploying police and fighting criminal gangs, which is just dealing with the symptoms and not the cause of the problem. As many of you may understand, the role of a senator is merely legislative oversight and representation. Legislation is a very important role in terms of harnessing the business environment that businesses operate in. Legislative is very important in providing laws that can ensure our farmers get the necessary support from the county and national government when required. Legislation is also very important in guaranteeing that devolution and the resources that are devolved reach to the lowest level, which is the ward. My intention as the next Senator of Nakuru is to propose bills in Parliament that will anchor in law that devolved units come up with what we call the Ward Development Fund, and that fund will be secured in law that whatever shilling is devolved to any county will have a designated budget in law, protected in law, that will go directly to the ward level in the same way the Constituency Development Fund is protected by law. That is number one. Number two is that Nakuru County, being a significant contributor to the national economy, the share of national resources also ought to be commensurate to the contribution that this country make. Therefore, I will also be seeking laws or pursuing an agenda where our share of national government cake will be enhanced to be in comparison with what we contribute as an economy to the national kit. And lastly, whatever resources that are generated here, whatever revenues that are generated here out of natural resources within our county, I will be pursuing an agenda where a small percentage of those revenues is returned back to this county with a clear intention to go to specific development programs such as provision of safe and clean water, improving the infrastructure in our vocational and training institutions, improvement of our health facilities, improvement of our roads, and most importantly, supporting the Nakuru farmer, whether small or big, because that farmer is the one who feeds this county, and we intend them to feed us as a county and feed us as a country. So if we can be able to have that three-pronged approach, we will be able to address the economic situation within our county and fulfill my dream of what I refer to as shared economic prosperity. Thank you.